All right, so I ended up going 5 and 5 total. I did a 2 and 3 and a 3 and 2. I made a couple mistakes. It was a pretty critical one in the Brea game. I was pretty far behind already. Um, Maybe I could have come back, but it would have meant sacrificing some pretty important resources in order to get rid of that Ajani. With Ajani on the board, I just couldn't stay alive. But I was pretty far behind that game anyways. And then the other mistake I made was a much smaller one in missing the Spellskite and targeting the Treachery with the Maelstrom Pulse in the Geist of St. Treff match. Again, I was pretty far behind in that one, so I don't know. I might have been able to pull a win against that Brea. I don't think. I mean, I'm not casting Maelstrom Pulse. Like, he drew two more cards. That drew the Winter Orb. Maybe. I was still pretty far behind. And I didn't have any way of getting my Leovold back. And Leovold is really crazy. So, the deck itself, I really like this deck. Leovold is just amazing against control decks because he's pretty much guaranteed card advantage, especially if you counterspell to back him up when you cast him. And then um, it's really like the decks that rely on drawing cards and removal are going to have fits dealing with Leovold. The exception is Treachery is really good. If you don't have a counterspell when they draw their Treachery, it's pretty much game ending because you have the same problem. You're a deck that relies on drawing spells and removal. So I've actually ran. That wasn't the first time I ran into Treachery. It's pretty bad when you can't counter Treachery, and that exemplified it. Um, Other than that, the deck's a really cool control deck. A couple things I might change. I've noted a couple times Toxic Deluge should be in the deck. It just should be, should be, should be. The deck has hard time against Titania, especially if they go all in. Um, and they can't go all in if you cast the Toxic Deluge. They don't sack all their lands, but they can't go all in. So, I feel like that'd be really good. There's a couple ways to get it back out of the graveyard anyways. So, like, I feel like that would be really good. And I feel like some additional artifact enchantment removal would be pretty good. Sylvan Library is bad. Treachery is bad. There's a few... Winter Orb is bad. So maybe even Nature's Claim to deal with those kind of things. Trigon Predator is so slow. I love him. I'm a big fan of Trigon Predator. It just doesn't do the job fast enough. And I feel like maybe Nature's Claim and Reclamation Sage instead of Trigon Predator and something else. I don't know what else. Maybe Mental Misstep or something like that. I don't know. And Courser Crewfix kind of underperformed. And so maybe Toxic Delusion for that one. Maybe those are the changes I'll make next time I try this deck out. I will probably be playing this deck again. It's a really awesome deck. So thank you guys for watching.